Hello and welcome to the Motocross Network. Today we have a very interesting bombshell interview I figured I'd bring up to you guys, and that is David Luongo, Infront Moto Racing, I think it's called Infront Moto Racing. They're the parent company of MXGP. So the CEO of that came out today with a bombshell interview. They talked about a variety of things, just how the 2024 season went in MXGP, Prado and Coonan looking to head to America. They talked about that stuff, but the most important part, they talked about the pay. Rider pay has been a big issue, and a lot of teams leaving. So we're going to get right into that. Now, first, the Motocross Network magazine, issue number 10, is available now, and the next issue is coming out soon, so be prepared for that. So we have issue number 10. This is our best one yet. We have our Australian writer David Hogan in there alongside me. And in our next issue, we're going to have our British writer Jordan Barber in there as well. We also have some past issues if you guys are interested. These are from last year. Still got some of those left. And we even found a stack of our very first issue from a couple of years ago. It's not great, but hey, it's kind of vintage at this point. Jorge Prado on the Red Bull KTM. Yeah, it's not great, but it's on discount. And you can see where we started. So buy issue number 1 and number 10, see from the beginning to now. But one more thing on the magazine. We've been producing them in America. We do all the writing and the editing and all that stuff. But the printing, the production side of it was a separate company in the United States. And the economy is kind of garbage, which we'll get into in this video. That's part of the reason teams are closing too. The economy's been kind of garbage. So prices are going up. And it's not going great for us. The production prices are getting ridiculous, and we don't want to put that onto you guys. So we had two options. Option number 1, lower the quality of the magazine. We didn't want to do that because we kind of pride ourselves in having a high-quality print magazine. The other option was to send it to China, and there's a couple of reasons we don't like that. One, it would take from us sending them the file to get printed, it would take roughly 4 to 5, maybe 6 weeks for us to get it. So that's kind of ridiculous. We don't want to have that big of a delay from writing the story, producing the magazine, sending it there to get printed, and then wait 5-6 weeks. That's kind of ridiculous. So we came up with an extra option to go out of our own pocket and buy all the supplies and the printing equipment, and we're going to have a whole room dedicated to printing magazines now, which will lower the prices for you guys and increase the profit margins for us, but it's a very large upfront cost. So, yeah, we're going to be doing that. We're proud to be making our own magazine from beginning to end, every step of the process right here in America. So, yeah, pumped to do it. Go support us. Head to the mxnetwork.store. The prices are going to go down, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you. All right, sorry for that long-winded intro there with the magazine advertisement, but I had to get it out. I had to let you guys know that we're switching things up with that. So we'll see more about it next year. Anyway, the news. David Luongo, CEO of MXGP, well, actually Infront, which is the parent company for MXGP. He did an interview with GateDrop.com. I believe they are a UK-based media company for motocross. They spoke with Luongo about a variety of topics, but there's a couple of them I want to point out and talk about. First one being 5 teams that have left in 2024 and obviously not returning for 2025. That's a big hit to the sport, and GateDrop brought this up to Luongo to see how he thought about it. So GateDrop said, hey, listen, SM Action Fantic, which is a factory team for Fantic, Standing Construct, F&H Racing, Bedini, and Debates Yamaha, all those teams closed down. And it was pretty much all because the manufacturers pulled support. Therefore, they don't have the finances to continue racing. Why did they pull support? The economy kind of globally right now isn't great. So it all comes down to that. And it's screwing the teams over, and the teams don't have enough money to continue. They're closed. So they asked Luongo how he feels about this. Maybe if they can do something, help these teams out. I mean, we're traveling everywhere from Great Britain to Indonesia and next year Australia. So it's really expensive. It's a big costly season, especially for these small teams to make it around the world. But he was asked about it, and here's what Luongo had to say. Luongo said, quote, "This is a natural evolution. Every year, some teams leave while others arrive. This helps create stronger teams in the paddock, as teams that cannot stay in the World Championship may make way for new ones. The most important thing is that every new season, the top riders are on the gate, and in 2025, that will again be the case. Now, I want to be fair. I do like David Luongo, and I love MXGP. I really love MXGP, but this stuff it just irritates me. I kind of want to say this is a greedy, rude response to kind of ignore these teams and say, hey, it's on you. The finances in the sport are already hard enough. There's not much money in it, and it costs a lot to do. So it's kind of a very uneven scale of expenses versus income in the sport. So it's already hard for these teams. It's hard enough for a regular person to go riding on the weekend. So the fact that he just says, hey, some teams leave, they fall apart, they can't afford it, somebody else will come in. What does it matter? That's just, I think it's negligent. It's ignorant at the least. I don't want to say that the MXGP has to provide financial assistance to these teams. I don't want to say that. But, like, at least here in America with the Super Motocross thing, I'm not saying I agree with it, but like the Supercross or Super Motocross bonuses, they go to the team, which goes to the rider, and the team takes a cut. And in America, travel expenses are nothing compared to MXGP. I mean, driving from California to New York or Florida or whatever is nothing compared to going from Great Britain to Indonesia or Sardinia, all these wild places they go to. The expenses are vastly, vastly different. Just kind of to the point like, hey, MXGP is growing. There's a lot of motocross fans worldwide. We love the championship. We love the riders. You guys get plenty of money. Come on, just take a slight cut and give some funding to the teams. Because the worst part about MXGP is they go to these races, these wild countries, and there's only 15, 20 guys on the gate. Well, if you're allowing all these teams to close, that's going to happen more and more. The best part about America is every weekend there's a full gate, no matter what. There's 40 guys behind the gate that want to get in. So I just kind of think this is a negligent response. And for MXGP to grow, I think they just have to give some support to the teams. I think that's the point we're at, where we're traveling all the way around the world, and the economy's kind of not great. Sponsors are tough to come by right now. I think just providing slight assistance to all of these teams, I don't think factory teams really need it for the most part. But you could obviously help them as well. I'm mainly focusing on the satellite support teams, those. Just give a little bit of support to these guys and help them get around the world. Now, Luongo even went on to continue. They asked him about if there was anything behind the scenes to help the teams in the future, and Luongo said, our work is to promote the World Championship, provide excellent TV and media coverage, and offer manufacturers, teams, and riders a stage to showcase their talents, and we do this very well. As I mentioned, teams that cannot participate in the World Championship due to financial reasons or other motivations will leave, making room for others. That's just an aggressive stance, in my opinion. Like I said, I think they should provide some support. I don't think they should be forced to be given loads of money to these teams, but come on, something. Anyway, let's move on to the second rough response from Luongo, and this is about another controversial topic, prize money. Like I mentioned in the interview with Cornelius Tundell, if you want to watch that, that's on the channel. He said that they make zero. No money. There's no money in MXGP. And Gate Drop asked them about this. They said, are there still no plans for prize money to be put in place? If the riders are able to earn more money through a system you implement, it may take pressure off the teams. Here's Luongo's very, very arrogant response. Quote, we have discussed this question many times years ago. We invest in the promotion of championships, TV, media coverage, infrastructure, and in youth championships to allow a lot of young riders to grow into the World Championship. This is our job, and the results prove that this is the right way. Professional riders are paid by their teams and manufacturers, and the fastest riders make excellent money. I don't know if you know, but in the MXGP paddock, there are several millionaire riders who have come up through the pyramid system starting from the 65cc until MXGP. Through our investments in the championships, we provide opportunities for teams and riders to grow and make more money, which is the case. As in any sport, the fastest and most professional riders stay while others move on. Now, first thing, he's 100% correct. I agree with him on their pyramid. You can have a rider go from 50s, 60s, all the way up to MXGP World Champion in their system, and I love that. That is phenomenal. They provide them with a great structure to rise through the ranks from a child all the way to, that's what Jorge Prado did. A lot of these guys did. So I'm not disagreeing with him on that. That's fantastic. He also said how there's several millionaire riders. That's true too. But when you have 40 riders in each class, so we have 80 World Championship riders, and you might have maybe 8, 9 millionaires out of 80 in the World Championship. Yeah, I don't know about all that. Take a look at NASCAR. I always use NASCAR because I watch it every single weekend. I'd say probably over half of their drivers are millionaires, easily. I mean, the top guys are making wild money. They get paid for time on TV, so screen time, they get paid for that. The smaller teams get paid, so if you're in a Toyota smaller team in NASCAR and a Toyota big team wins, you still get a tiny sliver of money to help fund your team. So they got that as well. Then they obviously have their sponsors and all that stuff. So I think MXGP just kind of has to do something like NASCAR. I'm sure other sports do it as well, but I'm not too keen on other sports. I've watched NASCAR for a long time, so I kind of know how it works on that. But I just think for him to say, oh, it's up to the team, the manufacturer, and you just have to do good. If you do really good, you'll be a millionaire, no problem. Come on. If you're trying to rise through the ranks, that's just, in my opinion, unacceptable take on the subject. This is a world championship. These guys need to be making a lot of money. The amount of work they put into it, the amount of talent they have, they need more than they're getting. That's just my opinion. Now, you might think after watching this video that I don't like David Luongo. I think he's a fantastic guy. I like how MXGP is run. It's fantastic. I just think the riders and the teams need more support. That's a fact. But yeah. I don't want you guys to think I'm attacking him or angry at him or I dislike him. That's not true. I think what they do is great. Just with the way the global economy is right now, the struggles these teams are having, there has to be a little bit of support so we can fill that gate and give the most riders opportunities. There was one final semi-controversial topic he was asked about, and that is the fact that so many riders want to leave MXGP and head to America. The Coonan brothers, Kyle Wolf, Prado's already going there. Mikkel Horup is here testing right now and potentially will be here. So a lot of guys want to come to America, and he was asked about this, if there was anything they need to change, what's going on, why do all these guys want to go, and how does he feel about that? And his response was, quote, as I mentioned, we are doing a great job creating talent for riders who dream of supercross. America is the place because that's where supercross is. But for riders who are passionate about the Motocross World Championship, MX2 and MXGP are the right places. We are not worried at all because the European championships are working very well, bringing up talent each year. There will always be enough riders for a great show on MX2 and MXGP, even if a few choose to go to American Supercross. Seeing them all together at the Motocross of Nations is fantastic and will only increase interest in the event. You know, part of what he said is true. If riders want to come here for the more opportunities, Supercross, Motocross, and SMX, that's fair. Come on over. But the truth is, if you do want Motocross World Championship is the best place to be. I mean, American Pro Motocross is incredible, obviously, but I kind of think MXGP is the pinnacle for that. He did kind of slide by, weave around the reason they're all coming here. Why do they all want to come here? Partially money. That's part of it. But the biggest thing is tracks. I mean, every MXGP rider that comes to America, they just look at the tracks and go, wow, I didn't realize what I was missing out on. Our tracks are really wide, prepped really well. MXGP doesn't do that as well as we do. And a lot of the times they're building tracks in parking lots now. Like the final race of the year in Spain, horrible. Indonesia, horrible. China, horrible. All these tracks are just made in a parking lot and they're garbage, and the riders don't like that. And speaking for the fans, we don't like it either. So they need to realize that. But yeah. It is also true that there will be plenty of talent in MX2 and MXGP, even if these top guys leave. I mean, if you look at the EMX class and even EMX 125, all those classes they're loaded with talent right now. So even if the Coonans and Kyle Wolf and Prado, all these guys leave, the slot will be filled really quick. There's a lot of talent over there. So anyway, that's it. There's a lot of other topics in this interview that are kind of not so controversial, not so important. They talk about Coonan moving up to the 450 early and all that stuff. If you want to read it, head to gatedrop.com. But I just wanted to point out the most controversial parts of this bombshell interview. It's kind of wild that he responds like that and has no empathy for the riders. That's just kind of my take on it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to go support our sponsor, Blood Lubricants. It's only high-quality American-made oil. They've got regular oil, wash and wax, chain lube, whole bunch of stuff. Just head to bloodlubricants.com. Use our code TMN25 to save 25% off site-wide. And yeah, don't forget to go support us, our magazine, the MXNetwork.store. If I can grab it here. Issue number 10, our latest one is out. 11's coming out soon. And like I mentioned, we we are bringing production in-house in the United States, so hopefully the prices will come down for you guys. And, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see all you guys in the next video.